What time is it? It's Packard Pokes At time. Hat? Check. Shirt? Check. Pants? Optional. Mug? Double check. Check us out at cafepress.com/PackardPokesAt where you can get all this great merchandise and more.
Do you like Packard Pokes At and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another fine edition of Packard Pokes At. I am your immutable and unmutable host, Packard Sonic, and I am in all green here. There we go. Dandy way to start out the 300 show. We've had nothing but technical problems since we got going. But anyway, joining us tonight for our 300th episode. And instead of me trying to do this all at one time, I've got this set up for a special to pop everybody on all at one time. Here we go. There they are. We've got our normal co-host, Joe Unseen.
Normal?
Yeah, normal. Well, average. Normally average. Averagely normal.
I'm below normal.
Okay, if you say so. And we also have Connie, Practical Magic 9. Ooh. Okay, that sent shivers up my spine. I don't know why. Joining our first time we've ever done this is we have two special co-hosts on. We have John Fishhead Salad on with us.
Hey, everybody.
And Godless Glenn. Glenn?
Glenn doesn't live here anymore.
Well, he should be joining us here in just a few moments. Anyway, as I said, this is our 300th episode. And tonight we have our Okay, Let's Talk segment. And tonight's Okay, Let's Talk is the 300-pound Turkey Award for 2015. We have a lot of people out there who are doing some crazy-ass shit. And we have cataloged so patiently and carefully. And if you believe that, I have a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you also.
No, you don't. The city owns that.
Shh. You're not supposed to tell them that, Joe.
It's a national landmark and everything.
Yes. Yeah, it is. All right. Starting with our number 10 of our Turkey Awards, we have Mike Huckabee. One of his things he said recently, there was a kid who was 16 years old. He committed a burglary. He was aggravated but not armed. And that he got 108 years, 108 years. Huckabee, can you say anything any more stupid? I mean, really. Thoughts, anybody?
I don't get it. Huckabee said he got 108 years?
Yeah, he got 108 years.
Did he actually get, like, in court 108 years?
I have no idea. It was from the New York Times regarding this prison sentence. It was commuted in the year 2000. So.
Yeah, Huckafuck said a lot worse things. So I think.
Yeah, I had one. Like I said, I had one.
Let that one slide by.
Yeah, I had one set up here about how they were cooking squirrels on a popcorn popper here too. But when they were.
What?
I kid you not. They did this. Oh, here it is. When I was in college, we used to take a popcorn popper because that was the only thing they would let us use in the dorm, and we would fry squirrels in the popcorn popper in the dorm room.
Well, Packard, he is from Arkansas.
Yeah, that's true.
Good Lord, that gives Pop Goes the Weasel a whole different term. I know weasels aren't rodents, but I just want to clarify that. But it's still a very pictural thing.
Yes.
That's actually pretty resourceful of him.
Yeah. He's probably a guy who went out with a spatula and scraped off, possums off the road.
Right. Glenn.
Shoved them in the pot stove,
Yeah, Glenn, are you there?
He says in the chat room his mic isn't working.
His mic's not working.
Oh, that's great. We had it working earlier, and now all of a sudden it's dead. Oh, no.
It's the turkey show.
What is the Packard Pokes At episode without a 10,000 technical glitches here, there, and everywhere?
Well, it wouldn't be a
trying to
300
resurrect.
episode, celebration without,
Clusterfuck?
There you go. Okay. I didn't want to fill in the FUQ thing, but
Right. That isn't our FAQ.
that's how you spell it, right?
Right. That is actually how you spell it too. Number 9 for our awards here, we have the atheist YouTube drama, and there's certain atheists, and I'm not going to name names, that are attacking everybody else. And since atheists are like herding cats, basically, you can't say, hey, don't do this because they are an atheist or they are not an atheist, or whatever. But, really, why are we doing this? We should be cooperating. We are not the enemy of each other. We shouldn't be. I know this whole thing with Islam is really a big pain in the ass for everybody, but we're doing what they want us to do for them.
Yeah.
Comments, everybody.
To me, basically, atheism is what it is, dictionary style. It is, just a non-belief in genies, magic, God, deities, yada, yada. It's got nothing to do with, social issues or political issues. It seems like, there are some people on this front. I don't know what this front is. There's all this ambiguous stuff going on. It's like a domino effect. Okay, well, if you're an atheist, you're supposed to believe in this. And if you don't believe in this, then you're not an atheist. Or, or if you're an atheist, you need to be a liberal. If you're not a liberal, then you're not an atheist. And it just keeps going down. And if you are an atheist and you are a liberal, then you need to believe in this. You need to believe in that. You need to back this. You need to, And to me, it's like, what? No. No, I just don't believe in genies or God. That's got nothing to do with, it's got nothing to do with communism, democracy. It's got nothing to do with who's butchering who.
Right.
When it comes down to the definition of it, of course, everybody has their own passion as far as politics and social issues, but they're not really interwoven.
All right. Glenn, what are your thoughts on that?
I've seen a lot of drama and things lately, and it does actually kind of concern me. I think what bothers me the most about all of this is the misrepresentations and just the silly behavior that I see going on. I understand that we're not all going to get along, and that's just the way it is. We have different ideologies, different political views,
right,
and things like that. There's people I don't really want to be associated with. I don't like kangaroos.
Yeah, don't like kangaroos?
If you know what I'm saying. Without saying a person's name. I don't like kangaroos. No, but seriously, there's just so much bullshit. And at least have the decency to not strawman your opponent, which really, a lot of these instances, we're not opponents. We may be on differing sides of an issue, but I'm not your enemy.
Right.
We really, in a roundabout way, we are on the same side. And when I say a side, we're against a lot of the same issues, like the corruption of religion and all the other things that religion harms people.
Right.
And yeah, it really kind of irritates me to see all the bullshit going on. So
yeah,
I kind of try to stay out of it.
Yeah, I do too. That's why I kind of sit back and go, what are you people doing? Joe?
Well, all atheists like Futurama. That's just a given. And if you believe in God, then you're not an atheist.
Okay.
You get your card revoked at that point.
Yeah, you get your atheist card revoked. Don't. Yes. You start believing in God.
Discounts in the cafeteria. You have to return all your books on time. Can't keep them late for free anymore.
That's right.
Heaven forbid if you'll have books.
Yes. Connie, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, well, I guess for myself, when I became an atheist, there were a lot of blanks that had to be filled in because my religion as a Christian informed so much that I found myself saying, okay, well, what do I really think about women's rights? What do I really think about gays? And what do I think about just abortion? There's a lot of things that I didn't necessarily always change my mind on, but because religion informed it. Right. So for me, it was a huge switch. And what I have to say, though, about the rational and the atheist community, it has more to do with the rational thinking community. And if the rational thinkers can't discuss hot button issues without flame wars and doxing, it doesn't bode well for our humanity
Right.
to move beyond our current situation. I expect more from people who say that their morals and their worldview and their social concerns aren't driven by an invisible God.
Right.
So I want to see this come forward. I don't understand, because I mean, yeah, I'd be happy to say that I think that in some sense I'm open to saying, I could be a feminist. Yeah, sure. I think that women, if you look at history, there's no arguing that we had to come a long way and fight for our equality. But at the same time, I'm like, why does this mean that men aren't marginalized? And just by the fact that we expect them to suck it up and be a man,
Right.
that's a huge thing. That's just one example, because it's one of the bigger fights we have. And I'm like, why are we fighting about this? Why can't we just have a discussion and lay this out on the table and look at it logically, look at it rationally, and say, okay, well, what do we, because in the end it's about human rights, it's about humanity. So that's what I was about to say.
Okay, very good. All right, the number 8 on our list tonight of top 10 turkeys for 2015 is Representative Gordon Klingon shit. Can this guy get any more fucking ridiculous? Earlier this year, a crane collapsed during a storm at a mosque in Mecca, and 107 Muslims were killed. And, industrial accidents happen. And he was saying that because they believe in a different God, which is really the same God, that he thinks it's a Satan God or whatever, killed them to show them that they should be following Christianity. This is just plain stupidity.
Yeah.
John, your thoughts?
Yeah, clinging shit. He knows his masses. He knows the flock. He knows how to fleece them, and he knows how stupid they are to believe the stupid shit that comes out of his mouth. It's like every time he does this shit, it's like, you know that God that you've been taught to fear, and the one that's just magically can do anything that you wants him to do. Well, this is what he's doing, and look at me, I'm smiling about it, so you should be too.
Right.
It's like he just goes on these tangents with, this is my genie and this is his power, and he just goes on these things about that, and then they make absolutely no sense. They never have, they never will. I mean, there'll be a guy 50 years from now just like in his clinging shit shoes doing the same shit, saying, yeah, this tragedy happened, and that's because you guys disobeyed God.
Yeah.
But then 50 years from now, God's going to be coming within the next 15 years.
Or tomorrow, or never?
No, in 50 years from now, God will be coming in the next 15 years.
Sure.
And then 50 years after that, God will be coming within the next 15 years.
I actually made a comment on a YouTube video. It's like, God will be here maybe in an hour, and then a day later, maybe tomorrow, and then 2,000 years, finally got up to 2,000 years later, God's coming soon, 2,000 years later,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
As long as the cash flow and the power and the fear is flowing.
Yep.
Jesus is coming soon.
Yep, that's it. Glenn, your thoughts?
Yeah, man, Kleinschmidt really said a lot of stupid shit. I really begin to question if he is just got some kind of mental issues. The thing is, with his logic, what about when people get murdered inside of a church?
Yeah.
Were they praying to the wrong God? What about when a church bus has an accident and people get killed on the bus that were believers? This is a church function. Do they believe in the wrong God?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just randomly pull up some kind of, you can, but it's stupid. We could do this all day long.
Yeah, it's I always call it retroactive, ex post facto retro engineering.
Yep.
Where after the fact, let me try to make something good out of this. And okay, the
So
bus goes over the curb. These guys were on their way to a Christian summer camp. Well, Jesus just decided to take them home.
Yeah, it was their time. They were good enough to go home now.
Yeah, there's always this positive, heart answer. All these hearts just flowing out with the pink and reds, and all this fluffy stuff,
Right.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you do know that with the bus hit a curb and everybody on the bus burned to death. Yeah, but they only had to suffer for a few seconds. What's that to eternity?
Ugh.
What?
Yeah,
What?
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They spin it however, whatever is convenient for them at that time is how they spin it.
Right.
Yeah.
Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he could sit there and say that God killed them to punish them for believing in the wrong God, but in Muslim countries, well, in Middle Eastern Muslim countries, they believe that God put the oil under their sand so that they could control the world economy.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know,
You got to go with all those Muslims up in Alaska.
And Texas.
In Texas, yeah. No.
And the new one, and the new Muslims out in
Joe's
Oklahoma.
Right, Joe's right. It's like there's always. I've heard this for I'm a little older than I guess a lot of people here, but it's just I've heard this for decades with the there's a reason why God put the oil under the Mid East, because that's going to be the turmoil area of the end world events, and oil's going to be the big thing. And it's just all this eschatology shit that these guys keep pulling, and like,
Right.
Okay, yeah,
all right.
That's why God put oil under Saudi Arabia, just to fuck with people.
Right, Connie, your thoughts on this?
Oh, Hal Lindsey, yes. Just on November 18th, Klingon and Schmidt was interviewed on Alan Combs' show on Fox, and believe it or not, it sounded like actually more middle of the road kind of an interview, but was asking about the refugees, and Klingon Schmidt said, well, yeah, we could have the refugees if they will renounce certain parts of the Quran that called for violence. And I thought, well, okay, I suppose I could go with that. How about we have the Christians denounce certain parts of the Bible that call for violence and call for World War III, like the Book of Revelations? We could just do away with that. Let's just
Revelations doesn't count anymore.
Well,
Right.
you can actually even
Exactly.
simplify that, Connie. You can even say, okay, Christians, how about you just denounce any part of your Bible that you think the whole thing is true? How about you just denounce any of it?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That works for me. I'm like, well, I might be on board with you. Let's expand it. So
Right. Okay, moving on to number 7 of our Turkey Award is Ted Cruz.
Ooh,
Yeah, Teddy. Oh, Teddy boy. The guy who looks like he's in an eternal taking a shit. Ooh. One of his quotes here, he says, "It is the job of the chaplain to be insensitive to atheists." Because that's their job, apparently. Their job is not there to, talk to these people who are in the military because, some people are religious. They need someone religious to talk to. But they should be there. If they say they're an atheist, yeah, they should be a total asshole to them. Absolutely. Fucking piece of shit. Mm-hmm. John, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, that's what chaplains are there for. They're not there to save or to act as a representative of Jesus to try to save people to his, kingdom. They're there to just, condescend upon others who just don't believe in Jesus to begin with.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Sounds legit.
Got us, Glenn.
Yeah, of course, I wasn't very surprised by that type of rhetoric. Let's turn away immigrants. Let's not help the poor. And it's like, Jesus, these people don't even look like Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a minister of the gospel, but you don't want to minister to people that are atheists. Oh, those dirty, nasty atheists. Yeah,
Dirty atheists.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, let's be insensitive. Let's be assholes to them because they're nasty atheists. And it's like...
Don't you know, Glenn? We have no morals.
Right. It's like, don't you know that your own leader supposedly sat with sinners and tax collectors, the people that were despised of that time and culture? And it never ceases to amaze me. It's like they want to do the complete opposite sometimes of what you think they would do.
Right. I have to read this from Dawkins Dog from the chat room. I wasn't going to pay too much attention to the chat room tonight, but I have to read this. Dawkins Dog said that they're going to settle all the Syrian refugees in Alaska so Palin can start calling it Muslim hunting season. I could not let that one slide. I could not let that one go. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that if a chaplain wants to get into a consent off with an atheist, he's going to have a lot of trouble.
Absolutely. Connie, your thoughts?
part of my my journey to being an atheist was the fact that my oldest son, who just had a birthday yesterday, entered the military in 2001, and he proceeded to ask pastors across the country and grill them on facts on the Bible and why is this so. Yeah, I just have to. I have to feel sorry for the chaplains that my son spoke with.
Exactly.
Although I did find Ted Cruz's little, his little yes and no answer thing, and it said favorite song, "Oh Canada," favorite book, Green Eggs and Ham, favorite position, the missionary position. So, I thought that was funny. Oh, he's a hard.
I would like.
From the president.
I'm sorry, Connie. Go ahead.
Just say how close is he to the presidency? That's the only really scary part.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Freaky.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add a note that so many fundies overlook when it comes to cleaning shit, and a lot of these fundies, how I don't want to be accused of being anti-Semitic because I am not.
Right.
My whole name, actually, my first name, second name, last name is all Jewish names, but
Fish,
I can't
head, salad. Yeah, absolutely all Jewish.
No, my real name.
Oh, okay.
Clearly Jewish.
But anyway, my point is how these fundies always attack atheists for rejecting Jesus, and yet that's the exact same thing that Jews do.
Yes.
Jesus is no longer or I'm sorry, I'm stuttering because I got a cat again. You know what I'm talking about, Packard. I got a cat jumping on me, getting all entwined in my stuff here. But anyway.
I hate it when pussies just jump all over me too.
No, I love that. But, okay, let me rephrase it. I used to love that before I got married. But
What, your wife got rid of hers? Well,
no. Let me finish. It just when these guys they claim that atheists hate God or hate Jesus. And yet they reject Jesus just as much as their Jewish brethren do.
Yep.
And yet they just want to kiss the asses of their Jewish brethren over there in Israel. And and again, I'm not anti-Semitic. I
understand where you're coming
for
from.
Israelis and whatever. And I'm not just saying that just to say it, but it is true. But
right. No, I understand. where you're coming from. All right, number 6 on our.
And yet the Muslims revere Jesus. He's mentioned 37 times in the Quran.
Yeah. Yes, it is. All right, moving on to number 6, apocalypse predictions for the turkey. Again, yes. We had the 4 blood moons, which Hagee made a fucking bundle on, scaring the stupid sheep, saying, at the end of the 4th blood moon, and what? There's evidence that this happens all the time? Well, God's coming back. He's sending a sign. No, asshole. He wasn't sending a sign. This happens all the time.
Right.
John, your thoughts?
Gefällt to Dawkins' dog. But anyway, yeah, I think this goes without even. I think just the bottom of the barrel ignorant have to believe this red moon shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's an atmospheric thing on the planet that goes with the moon, and it happens all the time.
Yep.
It's happened all the time in the past, and even these guys, I call them eschatologists. It's just another word for eschatologists, I guess, but that's my word for it. It's the opposite end of the spectrum of creatards. Anywho, we're always going to have lunar, things going on, and that's just part of it.
Right.
and to think that somehow. This all goes to the Book of Revelation with the moon turning to blood, and you know what? No, the moon's never going to turn to blood.
No,
the moon was never made of cheese.
It's not. Damn, I got to put those crackers away then.
The moon is what it is. It's lunar rock. It's going to be what it always is.
Right.
Regardless of how we view it.
Exactly.
Just real quickly, imagine all these eschatologists, all these John Hagee types. Okay, the moon's turning red. Put them in a fucking rocket ship. Shoot them out past the atmosphere. Oh, what happened? It's not red anymore.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, it's got to do with nature.
Oh, yeah.
They
They wouldn't.
that scientists talk about.
They wouldn't believe it anyway. They'd say they drugged them and they made them see things. So just saying they wouldn't. That's their mental processes. I've heard that from other religiotards before as well. Glenn, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's hilarious that people buy into this bullshit. But I want to share a really quick example of something I thought was hilarious. John Hagee was on a Christian TV show talking about this blood moon bullshit, and there was another preacher on there with him.
Yes.
And he disagreed with Hagee, and the look on Hagee's face was priceless, man. I wish I had a video clip of that.
It's on Right Wing.
I wish his dentures would have fallen out.
There is one on Right Wing Watch. We discussed it here on the show when they did that because the guy was like, "Oh, there's the blood moon is this," and it's like, no, dude, that's there's recording of this, and it never happens in this particular place. And John Hagee's face is like,
Right. Yeah, I don't think he said anything back to him after that.
No,
but,
he basically shut his mouth, and he
Nothing intelligent.
Yeah, nothing. If he said anything, it was nothing. It was all blah 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 blah.
Yeah, I even wonder if these preachers even believe the bullshit they say. I've always been skeptical. I mean, it's one thing if you believe it and you think you've got good evidence,
right,
even though it's clearly there's no evidence that the blood moons are anything supernatural. What they are natural events.
Yes.
So they're conflating two things.
Yes.
But I don't even know if I believe that they believe this stuff. It's probably just a way for him to just keep making millions of dollars.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, they don't, but they know their audience, and so they know that their audience is fucking retarded in this regard, and they know that they can fleece them because they know that whatever I say, they're going to believe because I use personal scare tactics on them.
Right.
Joe, your thoughts?
I just find it amazing that every few years the world's going to end again and nobody remembers the last time it was going to end again. I think the world has been predicted to end more times in the last 20 years than we have years.
Yes.
Next week, I'm looking at it on my calendar. It says right here, Doomsday. So.
Yeah, and the chat room is saying that there's another prediction for
2020.
For 2020, and I'm like, oh man, I thought we were gonna have to wait till 2050 for the world to end.
Yeah,
that's when Isaac Newton predicted it to end.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right because we discussed it on one of the shows there.
Of course, he is correct because he's Isaac Newton.
Of course, he was never wrong in everything. Of course, Torvian just said he predicted Hovind will be found dead January 1st, 2021. So.
It's the one-man rapture.
Yeah, the one-man rapture. Connie, your thoughts?
Well, John Hagee stole this actually from another guy named Mark Blitz, this whole prediction thing, and he made it his own. And there's actually I don't know what the state is of the lawsuit, but yeah, I'm guessing that John Hagee heard blood moons and he heard moon pies. There was a snack involved. I don't know. Yeah, and the 2020 prediction, I was looking this up on Wikipedia, which is not exhaustive, but it's a source. And Gene Dixon originally said that Armageddon would happen in 2020. So I'm guessing that is
Gene
where
Dixon
Ken
was never
Hovind
wrong.
picked it up.
Yeah, that's probably where he got it from, too.
I'm sorry, Joe.
So are you saying that John Hagee is being sued over the idea of the blood moons?
Originally he was, yeah, because he wasn't giving credit to Mark Blitz. I don't know what ever happened with that.
Gee, I wonder...
They infight, but harder.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They don't just use words, they use lawyers.
How can he sue somebody over God's word? I'm a little lost on that one. It's it's not you that said it. It was God said that.
Right.
The blood moon was the prediction of the end times.
Yeah. Okay, moving on to number 5. We're halfway there. The flat Earth. Unfucking believable. In 2015, there are still people out there who believe that the Earth is flat. Just because your girlfriend is flat, dude, doesn't mean that the Earth is flat too. I'm just saying. John, your thoughts?
Well, it does if your brain has the same matter as a marshmallow. I mean, it's a typical, gosh, well, just look out there. Just look. I remember Pat Robertson, by the way, on a side note, like somebody asked him, like, how can he prove creation? And his answer, he looked in the camera and said, look at an apple.
Oh, Jesus.
Look at a tree.
Oh,
Are you fucking kidding me? And the flat Earth guys are the same way. They're okay. Why do you think the Earth is flat? Well, just look over the ocean. It looks flat. Look out in the desert. It looks flat. It's like, are you serious? Seriously? I mean, it's so archaic. The belief system is, I don't know. I put it right up there with Satanism kind of thing. It's just so stupid. I'm like, okay, all right, burn a candle. You go. Draw a pentagram. Pretend the Earth is flat. Ta-da.
Yes.
Ta-da!
Oh, yeah.
The Earth is flat because you think it is.
Yeah.
Glenn, your thoughts?
Yeah, I had the same thought. Like, yeah, it's 2015. Do we really have people who still believe the Earth is flat?
Yeah.
There are people that will believe anything. And or literally everything is a conspiracy. It's like, yeah, there's a big conspiracy from the government. It's like, shut the fuck up. I run away from conspiracy theories because I've got better things to do than to waste my time on. I mean, seriously, it's crazy the things people believe that are just a cover up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like Glenn's saying, and I have to agree 100%. I'm sorry if I'm cutting in inappropriately,
I'm
but it's true with these people. It's like, I believe this, and if you don't believe it, well, then you just got sucked into some conspiracy. Are you serious?
You believe everything the media tells you.
Exactly. Joe, did you have additional thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I mean, conspiracies where the government's behind it all. I mean, the government is supposedly so incompetent they can't fix the roads, they can't put up a website for healthcare, but yet they're secretly running the world and doing all
concerned
these
about putting the Men in
things.
Black out there and covering up the Mothman, and it's all just let's put our money into this as opposed to taking care of the structures of our bridges and potholes on the road.
Right.
Yeah, makes sense. Good point, Joe. You know what I mean? It's like
spraying chemicals in the air, fixing the Oscars, all the things that they're up to.
Right.
Oh, touche.
And
Leonardo DiCaprio should have won by now, right?
Hey, there's some things they can't fix.
Earth,
Sorry, Joe.
As far as the flat Earth, I mean, it's kind of reasonable. I mean, if you look at any picture of the Earth, it's round, it's flat.
My photograph is flat, so the Earth is.
and the Flat Earth Society has really cool T-shirts. I've been checking out their shop, and I almost want to sign up just so I get the member discount.
Okay, Connie, your thoughts?
Well, according to the Flat Earth Society, their ranks have grown by 200 people per year since 2009, mostly in the USA and Britain.
Ooh, sad.
201 in 2015.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They believe that the Earth is a disc with the Arctic Circle at the center and a 150-foot wall of ice on the rim, and that NASA is safeguarding the wall. This is like a Truman Show. It's like, are you kidding me?
Don't go outside the wall, otherwise.
I just want to give everybody a little padded room and their little. It's like, okay, you're probably not really gonna hurt anybody, except I don't know. I don't want you to reproduce or something. Oh my God. And when you talk about conspiracy theories, that's one of the biggest things, right after atheism, that I learned is like the minute that somebody talks about the big they, my flags go up. I am not interested in conspiracy theories, and I'm not, and I will. I dig in my heels and I'll still talk, but it's like, no. Like you said, if the government is not competent enough to fix potholes, what makes us think that they have this conspiracy? No.
Yeah, right.
So that's what I want to say about
Okay. All right, moving on. And this is our number 4. You're going to wonder why this is number 1, but we have a one better for number 1. The war on Christmas. Every year, it gets sooner and sooner. Us atheists are fighting a war against a holiday that's going to come and go no matter what we say about it. So we're fighting tooth and nail to stop a holiday which we're not trying to do. Stupidity. And Josh Furstein is decided, hey, you know what? Let's just fan the flames a little bit more, because why the hell not? I'm a greedy bastard and a scam artist. So, hey, yes, there we go. I call Josh Fuckstein a scam artist. Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. John, your thoughts?
I'll probably get the unhappy vote on this one. There are certain assholes on YouTube. Josh is one of them. I go down a list here, but there are certain people. I'll name another one just to let you guys know where I'm going with this. G-Man.
Oh, yeah.
There are certain people on YouTube who get more attention from atheists than they do from their Christian, brethren.
Right.
And he's definitely somehow come to the top of this whole thing, and he's just a fucking asshole. He makes no sense. He's just another idiot, just rambling, and yet he is able to get attention from people. And personally, I think he gets the attention from the atheist community. As far as what he's saying, obviously, I think it goes without saying that he's brought more business to Starbucks than he was trying to avoid or claiming to avoid. Like don't shop at Starbucks, but let me promote Starbucks.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. I just don't like that guy. Everything about that guy. When it comes to Starbucks, within itself, I understand what they did in a way, and I have no problem with that. Look at the colors. I mean, it's okay, red, green, and white. That's Christmas colors. That's what they do. I mean, they're not there to promote a holiday.
Right.
They're there to sell coffee. So
You wait. Let me write this down. Starbucks devotes their time to sell coffee. Okay, got it. Okay.
No,
Not
I hope I'm
war
right on
on Christmas.
Imagine that.
Okay, imagine that. All right, Glenn, your thoughts?
Yeah. The whole stupid Starbucks cup controversy thing, just like the war on Christmas in general, is completely manufactured bullshit.
Yep.
It's bullshit. This is one of these areas within the Christian circles that is really one of the biggest manufactured pieces of bullshit that they do, and they do it every single year.
Yep.
O'Reilly usually leads with his stupid thing that he does on his show.
Yeah, I believe he actually. I'm sorry to interject, but I believe he did start it. Bottom line.
Yeah, I think he did too. I agree. I think he's the one that started this whole thing. I think he did it for ratings, to be honest.
Yeah, it amazes me that that people will just believe manufactured bullshit. And of course, to be fair, the atheist community is not immune from this either.
You're right. They're not.
So I just want to throw that in there because we kind of talked about this earlier in the show. But I see parallels, and to me it just reaffirms that people, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on, you can believe bullshit, you can spew bullshit, and you should use your brain and fact check and not just jump on bandwagons that, oh yeah, that's what they're doing, they hate Christmas. No, there's no validity to any of this stuff. So
Tarvin from the chat room said, Furstein also said that Starbucks donated their money to Planned Parenthood to buying their coffee is funding abortion, which is really stupid, and that's not happening. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, the coffee cup thing really took off. I don't think Furstein even realized that his video would go so viral as it did. And it's exploded all over social media. There's memes, there's posts, there's shares all over the place. Everybody's talking about it for some reason. I tried to stay out of it as much as I could, but I couldn't help but notice several conservative friends, discussing it. blaming it all on people who are too PC,
Oh, Jesus
which is
Christ.
code word for liberals.
Wow.
Oh.
And I just couldn't find. I was like, wow, that's really funny. And so I made sure to share with them the Furstein video and said, actually, this is the guy that started it all, and he's fighting the crusade against the war on Christmas. And I got crickets in response.
Nice.
Gotta look at the audience.
Gotta look at your audience, Joe. That's how you get this started there, which is what I'm apparently not doing.
You can't walk into a church and say, "Hey, Fernstein's an asshole. He's got this all wrong."
Right.
You're gonna get crickets. It's just
or they'll hang you.
yeah.
Well, it
they want to hear what they want to hear.
It just shows you that, like, no matter which side of the spectrum you happen to sit on, you see something that's controversial going on, you automatically assume it's the other side that's doing it.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Connie, your thoughts?
It's funny how this just feeds into the persecution complex, and I think that's what I first saw. I'm like, really? Last year we had Kirk Cameron, the Kirkster. He had his War on Christmas video, which is actually more mockable, but it is watchable, obviously.
Rotten Tomatoes. Hint.
I can't. I couldn't sit through a Kirk Cameron film. If you nailed me to the floor, I'd rip everything out just to get up to walk away.
I think that alcohol poisoning would be the other result of that. But yeah, but I've loved the memes that have come out from this, and I love how really the main reason we talk about it is not about their war on Christmas that they keep trying to claim is really happening, because guess what? Not everybody wants to say Merry Christmas, which I will acquiesce is actually a Christian greeting because it's Christ in Mass, which is the Catholic service. But yeah, this is a pagan holiday. Guess what? You're told in your Bible not to bring trees and put gold and tin, silver and everything on your trees. There's a lot. It's probably not even when Jesus was born. There's a ton of reasons that it's easily mockable, and I just hate the most that the Christians want to make this all about, well, you just don't want to say our greeting, and then guess what? Goodwill to everybody.
Oh, you heathen, Connie, saying goodwill to everybody. What the hell are you doing? You're attacking Christians with that. Goodwill.
I'm actually misquoting the Bible at that point. Goodwill to those with whom God is well pleased, which would only be believers. And I go, well, if that's what you think, if it's that exclusive, then guess what? I don't want to celebrate that, But yeah, I don't know. Josh Furstein needs to learn what direction to point his cell phone in, and just I don't know.
Josh Furstein, if you ever do watch this video, there's this thing, you take your camera, you take it from this mode, and you turn it this way.
Josh Furstein and the Red Cup Scare.
Yeah, Josh
I would like to add just an extra little tidbit in there. When it comes to indoctrination, I think, and anybody on the panel or on the side panel, correct me when I'm wrong here.
You're wrong. Oh, sorry.
Let me finish.
Okay.
You Nazi.
When just the two-word phrase itself, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
How many people actually in real life use the word merry in day-to-day terminology and just in language, in conversation? Mm-hmm. It's just you just it's been embedded in you to say Merry Christmas, and again, it's not even like a modern English word really that people use. Like, hey, John, what'd you do today? Well, I had a merry time at the football game. People don't do that.
I had a gay
like
time.
The word gay in the sense, back in the day, I'm not trying to change subjects here or anything, but it's just like, oh, I had a gay old time. It's just it's not a word that's used, and yet people want to defend it because they're so indoctrinated on defending that phrase, Merry Christmas.
Right.
In America, obviously, and in England is Happy Christmas, but But you know what I mean? It's just that alone just
Yeah.
chafes my cheeks.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Now that you mentioned,
I'm talking
it,
about the
I'll
lower
bring Mary
cheeks.
back.
I think they really do get some type of warm and fuzzy feeling to think that they're being persecuted all the time about stuff.
All right.
When it's all
Of
made up
course.
in their head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course it's in their head.
So
Okay, well, Joe, real quick, because we do have to move on. We do have several other topics we need to cut off, or cover, rather. Cut off?
You said cut off.
I said cut off.
Okay.
Little at a time, cut it off. Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah, what you were going to say real quick there?
Oh,
Joe!
I hope that wasn't it.
I hope not.
Letters.
I'm just gonna bring Mary back. I think that's great.
Oh,
I'm
there-
gonna use it all the time.
there you
I'm gonna
go.
use it in July.
Merry July, everybody! Merry July!
You're not going to bring back Jolly too, are you?
Okay, speaking of jolly, number 3, Donald Trump. One of the things he said, all of the women on The Apprentice flirted with me, consciously or unconsciously. That's to be expected. And this guy wants to be president because now he can read women's minds because just looking at them, he can tell they're flirting with him. Because, wow. I'm a rich man, so obviously they're flirting with me, whether they realize it or not. They're having orgasms, and I don't have to touch them. They just have to think about me. And every time a woman has an orgasm, she's thinking about Donald Trump. That's not even the stupidest thing. He recently just said that he wants to make sure, if he becomes president, that he's going to make sure that all the Muslims are being categorized and have to wear something on their bodies somewhere that depicts them that says, hey, I'm a Muslim. Gee, I wondered when did this happen last? Oh, yeah, back in about 76 years ago in World War II. Donald, did you not study history at all? Did you not? Really? John, your thoughts?
Hold on. Let me catch my breath here. Trump is Trump. I can't even think of what to say here. Short of that. I mean, it must be nice to be like a Pez dispenser of like this ambiguous kind of bullshit, you know, and people say, yeah, you go. It's like, wait, I just gave you a piece of candy. Yeah, you go. Yeah, but it's a piece of Pez. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Look at your head. Yeah. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Glenn, your thoughts?
You know, Donald must really be delusional if he thinks that all those women was fantasizing about him. I would think probably, I mean, yeah, we know some women are turned on by men with money, but
Sure.
I would think at least part of them has got to be repulsed by him.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
You know? I mean, yeah, he thinks very highly of himself, apparently.
Very much so. Very much so. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, I've paid attention to presidential elections as long as I can remember. I was a news hound as a kid, and it's never been like this. Like, it's so insane this year. Like on the Republican side, like it's just like it's almost like watching middle schoolers argue about global issues.
Yes.
It's like
true.
who's going to say the most insanely stupid thing next, and
Yeah, I
yet
agree with Joe
nobody
on
gets
that
knocked
one.
out of the race
Definitely.
for it. Like if this was a presidential race in the 70s or the 80s or even the 90s, you know, and somebody came out and said something insanely stupid like that, forget it.
Yeah, they've been out
It's
the
over.
door.
Yep, pull the banners off the wall, pop the balloons. It's not going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, you get the what that trumpet thing or whatever it is, you know, the wah wah wah.
Sad
Wah,
Trump.
wah, wah. Connie, your thoughts? And are you unconsciously thinking of the Trump?
Only in my nightmares. Trump the Tribblehead. Okay, here on The View in 2006, they asked him about his daughter Ivanka, and he was quoted as saying, "She does have a very nice figure. I've said, if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Oh my God. I'm
sorry.
Thanks for the creep factor.
Sounds like a lot.
Sounds like Jared, who just got 15 years.
That's why the GOP is following him, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
God.
He's a closet. He almost came out as a pedophile. Or something. I don't know. What is that when you... Never mind. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. There's some things...
You can love your kids, just don't love your kids.
Yeah.
Is that what this is? I mean, like, is that really where we have to go?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's...
Like, no, Donald Trump is that creepy guy in a van. He should be selling ice cream.
He's a guy...
clown outfit. I hate him so much.
He's the guy driving around, painted on the side of a van, says "free candy."
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
At least if you're going to say stupid shit, at least if you're going to think stupid shit like that, keep it to yourself.
Right.
You know?
Oh,
If you're a weird,
imagine?
fucked up, twisted, sick ass person that kind of in some way fantasizes about your daughter,
Yeah.
don't tell the whole world.
Well, Glenn, can you imagine if he was actually the president of the United States? What kind of crap would come out of his mouth?
We would be the
world
laughing
would
stock
nuke
of the
us.
world.
Well, I actually I want to address that because I do personally get a kick out of Donald Trump. I don't think he's presidential material, but
No.
But I do get a hoot out of the fact that he just says, fuck it, in so many words. He just says it.
Yeah.
I get so sick, personally, I just get so sick of, I don't care if it's a liberal or a conservative, Republican or a Democrat. I get so sick of just hearing the same old cookie cutter bullshit.
Right.
What, somebody asks somebody a yes or no question and you get like a whole diatribe of nothing that's got it's not a yes or no answer.
Right.
What do you think we should do about the whatever? I mean, you fill in the blank, and this is what, blah, blah, blah. Do you think we should do this? And there's no yes or no. But Donald Trump, basically, to me, he just says it. He just says it. And I have to admit, I personally get a hoot out of the guy. Yeah. And I wish more politicians would be more like him, who just basically say, fuck you guys, I don't need your money. I'm just going to go ahead and I think this is what's best for the country.
Yeah, he has so much money, he doesn't care. This is why
Well,
that's why the Republicans out there that are, or any politician for that matter, Democrat too, are in this category, that they know if they say the wrong thing, they know they're going to lose their donors, the people that would be the general public and the big money backers, as they say, hey, you said this thing, we don't agree with that, we're taking our ball and going home.
Contact us by email at ppappodcast@gmail.com or on Twitter as @Packard Pokes At. Like us on Facebook.com/Packard Pokes At. Call our Google Voice and leave a message at 662-709-PPAP or 662-709-7727, and we will respond to it on the show. Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. Join us live at vonlive.tv/Packard Pokes At. During the show, you can share your thoughts with us by calling 857-216-3200 using PIN number 35368 or on uberconference.com/Packard Pokes At. For links to the stories, visit our show page at packardpokesat.wordpress.com. You can help support the show by purchasing merchandise from cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At or make a donation to the show at patreon.com/Packard Pokes At. If you can't afford any money, why not share the show with your friends and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker, and on YouTube. For everyone that shares and rates us, you kick ass.
All right, we need to move on. I apologize. We really do need to get moved on. We got two more left, and we have maybe one quick bonus one here. Number 2 is the state of Texas. I'm sorry, Texas. You are on our turkey list for 2015. Because everything that goes on in Texas, if we have books that have facts in them, and that because Texas doesn't like a certain fact, let's just say, for example, our first president was Jesus, and we're going to put this as a historical fact. And you know what? Because we control the majority of the books, and because we have to have so many books printed here, we affect the entire country. Therefore, Jesus was now our first president. John, your thoughts?
Let somebody else, Packard, please. I got a cat all tangled up in my.
Okay,
my
all right, Glenn,
headphones.
your thoughts? Sure, Glenn, your thoughts. Well,
I'm really confused. I don't even know what to say to that.
If you throw a dart, Glenn, at the state of Texas, you're going to hit something.
Yeah, so crickets now. Yeah, I really don't. I really don't know what to say to that. You know, to me, Texas is just really one big clusterfuck.
Yeah.
I mean, from the banned abortions to the bullshit in the textbooks, they really seem to have a lot to work out with different things. It's mind-boggling. I thought it was bad living in Tennessee, and trust me, it is.
Yeah.
But I hear so many crazy stories come from Texas.
Yeah.
It seems, and it's like, what the fuck? And then you will hear occasionally you'll hear something good. I mean, you've got Austin, Texas, but surely the things that go on in Austin are not your typical crazy, fundy, religious right bullshit stuff. So
right,
because I've heard there's a lot of atheists that live there. So
yeah, at least in Austin
totally,
anyway.
If I'm moving to Texas, it's going to be Austin for sure.
There you go.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's the island of sanity.
In a state of insanity. Joe, your thoughts?
I heard on good account from a guy from Tennessee that Texas is cray-cray.
Texas is what? What?
Texas is cray-cray.
Yeah.
And Jesus was not our first president. He was our first diplomat.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay, see the history
Secretary of
books.
State.
They rewrote the
Secretary
history
of
books.
State.
I must have got a bad copy.
Yeah.
Connie, your thoughts?
No, your article is correct. I'm just quoting history.
Oh, okay. Connie, your thoughts?
You know, I think it's really telling that the neck that turns the head as far as textbooks won't allow college professors to review the curriculum that they've been pouring out. And I find it interesting that they went from 42 abortion clinics in Texas down to 19. And the restrictions are such that, again, I do not know how much strength to put into the study, but there's a study out there that says like 100,000 to 200,000 women are performing abortions on themselves at home.
Because they can't get to an abortion clinic. Yeah.
Yes. And how stupid and backwards. It's been on our radar all year. That's one of the reasons that Texas is like our not the onion story.
Yeah.
Winds up being from Texas or Florida, but you know it's been Texas a lot, and for these reasons, it's just ignorant, and they proceed to try and entrench their ignorance.
Okay. John, I know you kind of had to deal with a cat there. What are your thoughts on Texas, real quick here?
Sure. Bottom line is, the thing with Texas, I have some questions, and I have to try to go with that because I don't live there. You know, I've talked to Aaron Ra one or two times about stuff like this, and I don't understand what is with Texas. Are they like the most conservative state in the union? Because every time I hear these weird stories, I don't want to say every time, but you know, it seems like whenever I hear a weird story, my first focus is, oh, did that come from Texas? kind of thing. And in this case, from what I read, it's like, the school board, and anybody here can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I think Connie kind of touched on it. It's just like, okay, if it comes down to like teaching science, meaning like biological, geological science, It's like, well, we need to kind of run it through the board first to make sure it clicks with our curriculum.
Yeah.
And like, well, how about we just go with what science says at this point? Oh, no, we can't have that. We just need to make sure it jives with what our church says.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, we're squeezing our time, so we're gonna move on to our last one. This is a doozy, everybody. Number 1 for the turkey of the 2015, Ben Carson. The pyramids were built by Joseph to hold grain, and I have better intelligence than the entire United States, and the Chinese are actually in Syria, but they're really not, and my handlers are going, please, somebody shoot me. There's an old saying, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to do this, but you know what? I am wondering now, maybe we were overemphasizing this statement because Ben Carson is supposedly a brain surgeon, and he thinks that the pyramids were meant to hold grain. Let that sink in for just a minute or two. John, your thoughts?
Thank God there are rocket scientists.
Yes! Yes!
Yeah, Ben Carson is... he is like... I can't... He reminds me of like a snail sticking his head out to make a comment once in a while. And like, well, I just think we should do this. I haven't read much about it, but I'm done now. And he goes back into his shell. And he comes back out, and he's like, well, I don't really believe in evolution too much, but I'm done now. And he goes back into his shell. Like, what? You want to be the president of this country? He's like a castrated fill in the blank, the man has no power in his voice, short of him over and over, saying, well, I'm a neurosurgeon, so therefore, well, I just kind of think this and that once in a while, and maybe I'm not sure, but I will maybe get through it if I think about it enough. Like, what?
If you ever watch him, when he's talking about it, all this crap that he talks about, he brings his eyelids really close, really tight, almost like he's trying to think what he's going to say next. But when he's what he's talking about his surgery and everything, his eyes are wide open, like he just drank 5 cups of coffee, and he's got to tell you everything he's talking about.
Somebody put a hypodermic needle full of adrenaline in his ass.
Yes, it's like, oh my God! You take the neurosurgeon. You take
and even when he does that, he makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Glenn, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was watching the other day this clip of him where he was making this claim that he had this intelligence that even I think the government didn't have.
Yeah.
He then later claims that it was a joke.
Yeah.
It's like, no, motherfucker, you didn't appear in any shape, form, or fashion to be telling a joke here. So,
you know what he was doing? He was doing that one comedian who's everything he says sounds
Stephen
like
Wright.
Stephen Wright jokes. He thinks he's Stephen Wright. Everything I say is funny, even though I have no expression in my voice.
Well, Stephen Wright is
Stephen
hilarious.
Wright
Yes, he is. Stephen Wright is hilarious. Yes.
not familiar with him, but
you got to get familiar with him. He's hilarious.
Pasty white guy with a Simon Garfunkel hairdo, but is black. But he is a very, very funny guy.
Yes, check him out, Stephen Wright.
He's like Ben Carson, but he's actually funny.
And then more intelligent.
Yeah, exactly.
cool.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add on that real quick, Glenn?
Spelled W-R-I-G-H-T.
Yeah, W-R-I-G-H-T.
No, I mean, I think I'm good. I was going to talk about, he said that being gay is a choice, and he basically said that, men go into prison straight and they come out gay. He apparently doesn't understand that, a lot of people, I guess it's just guys are horny, I guess, a lot of times. Come on, let's just be real. So
wait a minute, let me write that down. Guys are horny. Okay, got it.
I would think that people are horny.
Okay. But you know what I'm saying? Like, apparently he just doesn't get it that they just get sex wherever they can get it. It doesn't make them gay. I mean, some people might argue with me on that one and say, well, if you're doing gay stuff, you're gay. But I separate orientation from actual sexual acts. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
yeah.
It's not gay if you're in prison.
Right.
It's true. Or if
didn't he say he was in prison and he came back out? I'm just saying.
Oh,
no, he was basically speculating.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of guys
bet-
going to prison, they're straight, and they come out and they're gay.
Yeah, okay. Then I must have heard the clip wrong.
I would love to see the studies on that one, but of course, does he provide them? No.
Right.
No. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, he's another one this year in this race that it's just like, wait, what? What did he say? It's unbelievable the things he says, and yet him and Trump are the two front runners. Like the Republican base just can't get enough of those two guys. They love that stuff, and for a guy who has the level of education he does, he either is just a really bad speaker, or he just genuinely wasn't curious about other subjects besides medicine.
Yeah.
Like
Joe,
he went through life
I think
just
he's both.
not curious about other things.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know. He just does not know.
He was so focused into how to, cut open a skull and get into brain matter. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but it seems like everything else that comes out of this man's mouth is like he's so oblivious to other science that goes around him. I understand being focused and being obsessed with something and making yourself good at that. And obviously he was a great brain surgeon.
Yeah, but he's a terrible liar, apparently.
I don't know if
because they fact checked.
Or if he's just ignorant.
No, he's lied on so many things. They fact checked a lot. He's talked about, I had this instructor.
Well, that's different. I mean when he talks about his past and all.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. His past
to his knowledge of science.
Okay, yeah, but no, I was referring to his talking about his
stabbing
past.
people and stuff.
There was this guy at the restaurant, and I told him, "Hey, take your gun and point it at the cashier. He's the guy with the money."
Yeah, it's not me. It's that guy over there.
That's that guy over there. Well, aren't you a standy person? You just get.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having him point the gun at me, asshole. Connie, your thoughts?
I'm sorry. Okay, first of all, somebody needs to tell Sarah Palin it's 2015. It's really highly uncool to go out in blackface. All right. That was probably a very bad joke. I thought of it earlier, and I probably should have.
There's this great meme that's been going around where Scooby-Doo, the old Scooby-Doo mysteries, they pull off the mask off the guy. In this one, I forget the guy's name.
I saw that.
Hank Brothers.
Yeah, he pulls off the mask, and beneath it is behind the Ben Carson mask is Sarah Palin. So.
I think every single GOP candidate seems to appeal to their base so much. And I'm like, why are you agreeing with this? Why are you agreeing with what they're saying? And it's so easy. It's either racist or, bigoted. It's bigoted and it's.
It must make sense to them,
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because he's a surgeon doesn't mean he's brilliant. I mean, obviously he's brilliant about being a surgeon, but so was Dr. Oz, who is, by all counts, a brilliant heart surgeon. But he still is pushing woo-woo.
Yeah.
Well, why isn't masturbation something that would make you gay? Because obviously masturbation is something where you're touching yourself.
True.
So if people have sex in prison because that's only other men or women in prison, that makes them gay. No, that doesn't make sense.
No, you're right. That does not make any sense. Okay, we were going to save this one if we ran out of time. If we didn't run out of time, but we kind of did run out of time. But we're going to do it anyway, just for the fuck of it. All right, we're going to give a special Ebola award.
Ebola, remember that?
Yes, this is our Ebola award because Ebola was a thing back in 2015 here as well. Our Ebola award goes to Pat Robertson, just because He's the fucking crypt keeper. Let's face it. He's someone that stuffed a hand up his ass and is talking through his mouth and just moving his face. John?
Yeah, well, fuck me. I used to work for the guy.
Really?
Yeah,
You saw the animatronics then?
I live in Virginia Beach. I live I kid you not, a mile and a half from his house. I live like a mile from CBN and Regent University and Founders Inn and yada yada.
How you can walk by that house or drive by it without throwing tomatoes?
Well, no, I'm not going to shoot the guy.
Tomatoes are not bullets.
As a matter of fact, I had to go up there tonight in kind of a weird, unrelated way. But anyway, again, it's right down the block. I mean, I kid you not, in like a mile away. I had to go up there. But long story short, every time Pat comes up, I have this thing, and then I know we're on time crunch here, but Pat is part of my past. He is part of his wife is part of my mother's present. They're both best buddies and all that. The reason I moved to Virginia Beach was because of CBN and because of Pat Robertson and because of all this bullshit. But so there's the thing in me. Now I lost track of the question.
That's okay. We were just kind of talking about Pat Robertson being Mr. Ebola.
Okay. Yeah, I did look at the video clips you left, and it's all that, bring it on kind of thing. And of course, Pat never has any answers to any of that. Bring it on is short of, well, let me just make shit up as I go, and that's what he does. He does it over and over, and regardless of how deep the question is, we've all seen it. We've all seen the white ring, the right wing. .org, whatever,
right,
kind of thing. And we've all seen the clips from him, and it is Pat. It is Pat, and he just says what he says, and we just take those 2 steps back and say, "What the fuck?
Right.
Are you shitting me?"
Right.
Yeah.
Glenn, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I'll have to disagree with John on that one because Pat Robertson does not make shit up. The Holy Spirit reveals to him everything he says. The Holy Spirit literally. No, I'm kidding.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Yeah.
Jazz hands, right?
I read this thing about Robertson, who basically was in agreement that you shouldn't let, like if you've got a gay family member who wants to bring their boyfriend with them, that you should not allow that in your home. And he compared that to bringing a stripper home.
Yeah.
Right? But
really?
Damn. This is silly because a stripper is not a companion and a boyfriend is a companion. They're your partner.
Yeah.
So this is a very silly comparison in my opinion.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, I just want to read something quick from the chat room. The real Paul Marshall said sometimes Pat goes off his meds and actually makes sense. So I've heard him actually a couple times. He has spoken the truth,
right?
Really briefly, and then he takes the crazy train back into Crazy Town. Just saying. Okay, Joe, your thoughts on Mr. Ebola, Pat Robertson?
Well, first I'm going to have to disagree with Glenn. Strippers are companions that charge by the 10-minute interval.
I'd take it more like a 2-minute interval.
Well, it depends. I mean, there's the champagne.
I'm just saying.
There's the private room. It all depends. It depends on how deep your pockets are.
True.
Or how long. Oh, never mind.
Or how deep their throat. Never mind. Yeah.
So Pat Robertson gets the Ebola award.
Yes.
I don't know, everybody keeps saying he's a cyborg, he's a robot, he's just gonna keep going like the Energizer Bunny. But he's got a son that kind of looks like him and talks like him, and I think one day he is going to eventually croak, and then we're going to have to stare at his son for the next 20 or 30 years saying the same batshit crazy stuff. So there's going to be Pat Robertson 2.0.
Joe, you just completely creeped me out because the thought of Pat Robertson having sex. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for that image. Yes.
Now I will not be able to masturbate tonight.
I'm not. Neither will I. God damn it. Ugh.
Does he scream out, "Oh God, oh God"?
Oh, he screams out, "Oh Pat, oh Pat." Connie, your thoughts?
I don't know. I just screwed up my
She's
head.
speechless.
I'm surrounded by testosterone.
Insert the grumpy cat meme.
And
at
it's
this
not even
point.
Jesus-driven testosterone.
Oh my god. I'm having flashbacks. Pat Robinson flashbacks. Oh my. My husband's gonna kill me because I'm gonna wake up and I'm like, go Pat Robinson. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. What an awful person.
Yes.
Nobody deserved it more. And there's no way his acceptance speech for this award would have been, I just want world peace. No, yeah, you want world peace at the edge of a freaking sword with Jesus ramming it down our throats, you bastard.
Right.
So, thank you to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we do have to get out of here. I want to thank our special guest again tonight for joining us, John, the Fish Head Salad. And you can find your channel where?
At not the Fish Head Salad, but Fish Head Salad.
Fish Head Salad. Well, you are the only Fish Head Salad. All right, it's like the Batman. Say the
Well,
Batman.
I mean, 3 words condensed into one.
Right.
On YouTube.
Right. Fish Head Salad.
Yes.
Right. And Glenn, I want to thank you also for joining us again tonight. And can they find your channel?
Yeah, Godless Glenn.
There you
And that's Glenn with one N.
Yes, I confuse that sometimes. I type in 2 N's sometimes. I didn't do that this time, I think.
Oh, it's okay. People do it all the time, even though my screen name says Godless Glenn with one N. But I'm used to it, so it doesn't bother me.
That's good. I get pissed off when people misspell my name. I say, hey, this is not mine. It's the name. My name is completely misspelled. So fuck you. That's not my bill.
Yeah.
And I also want to thank my co-hosts, Connie and Joe, for both coming in and helping me with the 300 show tonight. So you two are very wonderful people. Quick programming note, we will not be on next week because, well, Thanksgiving. And we will be off until the following week, which would probably be the first week in December if I know my calendar.
Like the 4th.
Yeah. So yeah, the 4th of
like
December. So
whatever
we'll be back.
Friday it is.
Yeah, there'll be whatever Friday, the first Friday of December, which probably I think it's the 4th. So we will see you then. And if you like the show, please donate to patreon.com/Packard Pokes At. And if you're on Facebook, hit that like button and like on the video. That'd be great. Thanks. This has been Packard Pokes At. We just poked at your 2015 turkeys.
Happy 300th.
Happy 300.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you.
And that's a wrap.